I'm eyeing college football. Who's your pick for the Heisman? I'm loading up on parlays and player props like Saquon Barkley breaking his own single season rushing record. Got a lot of work to do. FanDuel has you covered with player specials and unique props, like home run props. Whatever your game, FanDuel Sportsbook delivers the latest lines, futures, and specials so you can join in on all the action. Download now. FanDuel Sportsbook, where winners play. My pleasure. Awesome.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Fantastic, man. Real nice to talk to you, bro.
Where do you live?
I'm in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, you're in
Just moved
Nashville?
Oh,
here.
wow.
Yeah, we've been here for about a year. We were in Austin, Texas for like 10 years, 7 years or so. Before that, California for about a year. Before that, Tampa for like 10 years. So we've been all over. But hopefully I'm tired of moving, you know? So
Did you
hopefully this
move
is-
there after the floods, right?
we were supposed to move here like that week. So the house we bought here needs a bunch of renovations and whatnot. So we had a rental place that we had. And, the rental place, our house was fine, luckily, but the rental place ended up getting destroyed, no water, electricity was out, so we ended up having to get essentially forced out of that house into our actual house. Luckily, we were still in Texas, though, so we can kind of, wait out the storm, no pun intended, till everything kind of calmed down a little bit here. And then we've been here ever since. But everyone, not everybody, but most people are pretty much back on their feet now. But yeah, it was crazy to see all that devastation and damage,
Yeah.
Do you know Edge and FTR? Like, I'm sure you know them, but I mean, do you see Edge and FTR and those guys?
So I've not seen them since I've been here, but I use Edge a lot, really for anything I need here. He gave me his realtor. We've been meaning to get together for a long time, but we just haven't been able to make the time.
Right.
Yeah,
How do you?
I'm very well.
Who's your clique that you you travel with?
Really just Woods right now.
Right, just you and Kofi. It's been like that for years.
Yeah. We traveled with Ricochet a couple times when he was here. We used to be traveling with the Swoggle all the time. That was my road buddy. And then me and Punk traveled for a while on his first run here. The Majors brothers, or Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, we used to be pretty tight on the road, but it's weird because I've been on the road and everyone's kind of like come and gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
But now it's just Woods, man. Woods that's my guy.
It's actually your voice.
Kofi, how long have you been there and been on TV and stuff? It's been over 20, almost 20 years, right?
Yeah, so I debuted on TV in 2008, January 22nd, 2008. So
ECW?
Yeah, WWECW. Right?
Yeah.
But I was in Deep South in developmental in 2006. So I think, right, that's
What Deep
so
South in
19 years.
Atlanta, the Georgia one.
In Atlanta, yeah.
Where did you live when you lived down there?
In McDonough.
You lived in McDonough. Oh wow, you lived in McDonough,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Are you in Georgia?
Well, I grew up in Marietta.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Atlanta, and then moved out here. Like when wrestling was kind of done in like 2008 for me, But yeah, I never let I moved from Brooklyn when I was 3, but I never let the South touch my accent. So I still got I still got the Northern accent, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to. Here's Connan's here finally, but I want to ask you
What's up,
something.
man?
I want to ask you
What's up,
something.
man?
Yeah.
Something that's impressed me with your career is I don't think I've ever seen you out of shape before. Like never. I think you've been in shape. Like you've been there for forever. How long have you been in WWE now?
Yeah, man, it's been almost 20 years in totality. But yeah, man, I'm pretty lucky because when you're young, I was what's the term, like an ectomorph. So when I wrestled in high school, I wrestled at 103 pounds, but I weighed like 94. So I had to gain weight to like make the weight. And then my sophomore year, we had a state champion at 112. So I wrestled 125, but I only weighed like 110. I didn't have to start cutting weight until my junior or senior year. And when you're younger, right, you always want to be, you're mad that you're skinny and you want to be, putting on all this weight. And it's always very hard for me to put on weight, but I think that's kind of benefited me as time has gone on because, like I work out pretty much like every morning or whatever, but I've never had to like bring my fat content down or, you know what I mean? Like count macros like that, unless I'm trying to actively bulk. But
you know what's interesting, Kofi? First of all, welcome to the show. You're actually our first guest from WWE.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we've gotten other guests before, like Ray and Dom and Killings, but that's just on the friend tip.
Yeah, he's the first through WWE, right?
Yeah, the official.
Yeah, this is you're the first one. So yeah. Give us good luck. But I was reading because Disco's a big health nut, you know, and I'm always trying to read up on stuff to stay healthy. Is this correct, what I read, that you're a vegan?
I am, yeah.
How did that come about?
Man, so a lot of people have different reasons for being vegan. Some people are like animal activists, or, you know, they just don't want to eat meat. For me, I read an article about something and how it's made, and I get grossed out. And I can't. So I've always eaten with my ears. Even when I used to eat meat, like I would eat like hamburgers or whatever, or ground beef. But if you called it meatloaf, I couldn't eat it because I didn't like the word, you know?
Right.
So I'm very much like, I eat with my ears, you know, and the thing that first started it, because my wife went vegetarian first, and then I read an article or I saw a video. You probably might have seen it. It was on Facebook a few years ago. And it's like the reverse engineering of a gummy, like a gummy candy.
Right.
And it shows like the whole video in reverse, where somebody's chewing it and they take it out of their mouth. It goes back into the package goes into a box. The box goes into a truck is driving backwards to the factory. And the scene that got me was like, they showed these pigs hanging from their feet, and they showed the skin getting put back on the pigs, because the gelatin that's made for all these gummies, like Mike and Ike's, gummy worms, marshmallows even. I was really into like candy. I mean, when I used to travel with Punk, I would eat, like, we would stop at a gas station, I'd grab a whole bag of jet puffed marshmallows and eat them before we even got to the destination. The whole bag, you know?
Right.
Peeps, when Easter came around, the Peeps, I would always be on those. And then when I found out there was gelatin, and I'm like, man, like, now I know what the process is. I know what's in there, and it just grossed me out, you know? And now red meat, like, you know, just how it's hard in your body and stuff. I just read articles. I'm like, I just can't do it, you know?
Give me one day of eating, like
One day,
at home.
So I just found these things that I think they're supposed to imitate like steak patties, or, you know, steak, like pork chop, or steak tips or something like that, you know?
Right.
Cutlets, fillets. It's called Meaty, M-E-A-T-I.
Oh yeah, I had that before. I tried Meaty. Yeah, M-E-T-I, right? Yeah.
Yeah, M-A-A-T-I. And it's really good, man. It actually, I just had some right now with some steak sauce right now. You know, my son didn't finish his. I took the rest of his. So I'll have like a protein shake in the morning, usually another one throughout the day, one of these meaty fillets with the mushroom or whatever. And then I eat a lot of tofu too. So there's been a handful of times where I've gone and like counted my macros and all that, but I kind of keep track of it internally. And I feel like if I get a good, like, you know, like almost if I get 100 grams of protein in, I'm usually pretty good. And then I'll supplement with like a protein bar too. And
so you're
just make sure to keep my protein content high.
You're still low carbish, kind of, even though you're vegan.
Yeah, I'm pretty low carb. I mean, every now and then I'll have like a little bit of pasta or some rice or whatever. Had a little bit of bread this morning, but nothing crazy.
Right.
So have you seen any changes in your body when you went vegan?
Yeah, I mean, so I've noticed that my joints don't get as sore as they used to. There was a point in time, and it might have been because we were on such a much more of a rigorous schedule being on the road, but my knees used to ache, my elbows would hurt, you know? And I can't like fully attribute that to the vegan diet because I've changed so much about my diet, but I don't like, my joints are not sore anymore. They're not stiff, you know? I can do squats heavy still, deadlifts heavy, and still just have like, you know, regular soreness as opposed to that like deep joint soreness, having trouble walking and stuff like that. I don't really have that anymore. So I don't know if that's because of the inflammation I would get from eating red meat or chicken or whatever. I can't really pinpoint why that is, but since I've gone vegan, I haven't felt that. And the thing about it too is like I never felt bad to begin with. So it's hard to say like, oh, you know, I feel so much better or whatever, because I've always felt pretty good. I think it's because I stay pretty active.
Right. I wanted to ask you this question. I actually brought this up to Xavier once. I remember when I was, remember WrestleMania Dallas?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's when I knew you guys were over, because I was walking down the streets and people were screaming, New Day rocks, and they were clapping, and New Day, like just on the streets. You know? And I was like,
2016, right, Konnan?
Yeah.
2016.
Well, the reason I remembered is because I was very tired from partying 2 or 3 days in a row, and Teddy Hart had a Jaguar, And I asked him, bro, can I just lay down in your Jaguar and close my eyes? And I laid back and a fucking cat ran across my fucking face. He had like 5
Oh,
cats.
yeah.
Bro, he had like
Yeah.
5 cats in a brand new Jaguar with kitty litter and everything. It was fucking
Those
mess.
hearts are cat people, man. They're cat people. Natty too. You know,
Yeah.
TJ, they love their cats for sure.
Yeah,
I believe it.
he'll come out with a cat and put it in the corner and throw it up in the
Yeah.
air. But anyways, so
He's a special cat, man. I like Teddy, man.
yeah,
He keeps you on your toes, man.
he's a wild one. Yeah. So so anyways, I remember that time. And I remember thinking, wow, these guys are super over. And I kind of thought, and I don't know if I was wrong, but I just kind of thought, wow, a lot of fans are kind of nerds. And I don't mean that derogatorily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these guys are kind of like black nerds that are cool. Would that be a
Yeah.
correct label?
100%. You know, and I think the most beautiful thing about the whole New Day story is that we can do it in a way that was like prototypical wrestler, right? You think,
Right.
you know, WWE superstar, you got to be 6'3", you got to be 275, muscle bound, and you talk like this and you're angry at everybody. And, you know, like I mean, all of us are we all under 6 feet? I mean, I'm right about 6. I'm right about 6 feet. I think he was like 5'11" or something like that. Maybe right about 6, maybe 6'1". I don't know. But we're not like your prototypical looking wrestlers. And we're just into a lot of different things that the everyday person is into. Video games,
Gaming,
comic books, you know, anime, kung fu movies. And I think when people would see us on TV, they saw a lot of themselves in us. I mean, we came out with unicorn horns, bright colors, pitching ice cream, pancakes, twerking, Bootio cereal, stuff that is like, it's funny to the stuff that you would do with your boys, you know?
Right.
But for us, you know, to be on WWE, kind of breaking the mold in a way that wasn't like, you know, stereotypical African-American guy that you would see as a wrestler, right? Like,
Right.
you know,
Like
you
the guy
see,
with
like,
I'll give you the stereotypical black guy when I was growing up.
yeah,
Headbutt. Like
yeah,
every black guy had a hard head.
right?
You
yeah.
know? Yeah. Like the Samoans.
Let me
Yeah,
ask you
yeah.
this.
Let me ask you this, Go. Let me just go real quick, Disco, because it relates to what Konnan was saying. I remember I was at the Rumble, Kofi, when the New Day had first started, the one in Philadelphia. And
Okay.
the crowd hadn't really taken to the gimmick yet. It was still just starting, but mostly it was like the choir in the background, the video and stuff.
Yeah.
So that didn't seem to work at first. And you guys got booed a lot that night. You're supposed to be baby faces. But it seemed to me the gimmick became more successful as it changed and you guys got to put more of your real personalities in it. So I guess my question was, how did that process work where you were able to convince Vince at the time, we need to change this, we need to be more like ourselves and not this stereotypical, you know?
Yeah. So it was crowds like that, crowds like Philly, crowds like Detroit. There were very specific times where, so I'll back it up. Like when we first wanted to be a group, you know, we had gone to Vince and we said like, hey, you know, we want to be like 3 guys who are really disgruntled with their jobs, you know, and they want to come together to be greater than the sum of their parts, you know? And he was like, yeah, that sounds cool, but maybe we'll have you be preachers. And we're like, you know, but we knew. So I remember like all of us sitting in that room and listening to him talk about how like successful he thought that gimmick was going to be. We knew right away that like nobody comes to a WWE show to go to church. Number one. So they don't want to be preached at, you know what I mean? So we're like, okay, cool. We knew that with the chemistry that we had, that regardless of what he gave us to do, all we wanted was an opportunity to be on screen, you know? And we knew we would shine through. So once we wanted to be bad guys in the first place. So we came out and then people like were happy that we were doing something new. But then, like you said, very quickly, everyone really turned on us and started to tell us how much we sucked. And we just loved that. That's what we wanted in the first place. And it kind of worked out better because we weren't your stereotypical bad guys that were just like, oh, I'm angry, so I'm going to come out there and beat you up. We were guys who were like, you know, pretended to be one thing, pretending like we were, you know, with the Dudleys, you know, save the tables. We want to save the tables so bad. Oh my gosh, we care about the quality of the wood. And you guys are putting watermarks on the table. You guys don't even use cup holders. Oh my gosh. But then in the end, we come out and we try to put them through a table. So we're obviously out there, we're, you know, full of it. But, you know, we got to be bad guys in a very different way. And I think that was really entertaining to people. And then when we became so good at being bad guys, then, you know, people started embracing us, right? So the crazy thing, and I always tell people is like, we didn't change anything. We came out, you know what I mean? We told people to be the best versions of themselves. And they were like, nah, we don't want that. You guys suck. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. What do you mean? We're trying to make you better. You know what I mean? And you're telling us that we suck. So anyway, it's a problem with the WWE universe as opposed to us. You know, we say the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is too, is that you have ever since like the smart fan communities has grown over the years, that when you start being just so good at a heel, that this faction of the crowd just starts applauding your performance as heels, you know, and then all of a sudden
you're
it's
making
like,
us laugh,
well, you're going to shows now and kids are in the crowd. Now they start cheering along, you know, with things, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, we're getting cheered now. But then like, let me ask you this: so like, when did when you guys were baby faces? When did you get that? Like, how long into your babyface run when you got like when you saw the merch checks and you're like, whoa, boy, like, wow, you know, like, when did it open your eyes when you're like, well, we're really on to something here? Like, when did it change?
So it was probably that WrestleMania in Dallas. That's when we came out of the Budios box. Mm-hmm. So we had the #1 selling T-shirt in all of WrestleMania throughout that entire week. And that is above, like, John Cena at the time was on the roster. Randy Orton was on the roster, you know? So that, to me, I was like, man, like, we really have something. When you can go out and make the people react and feel, like, that's the goal. Like, that's what we're always taught when we're coming up. You know, you want to be able to make the people feel something emotionally. And they were just like, you know, even like, you know, Konnan, you were saying like you were hearing people in the streets. Before the shows, it was always New Day Rocks. Before the shows would even start. And then in the parking lot, people will be beeping their horns in the parking lot in traffic. You know what I mean? To the same.
And on the way out.
The way out of the show.
Yeah. So we had a pretty good idea that we were onto something, but the main thing was that we were just having fun. You know, we wanted to go out there and pop each other. And by doing that, like if you're walking down the street and you see 3 dudes having a good time, then you want to know what's going on. You want to be a part of it. Hey, why are they laughing so hard, man? What are they doing? What are they getting into? And that's kind of what was happening with all the people watching us in the ring. We're out there trying to just pop ourselves, you know? And, you know, people wanted to be a part of it.
I just always thought, and this is the thing that I had told Xavier, I just always thought it was great because when I first saw that gimmick, you know, the first
iteration, yeah.
Right, the first well, not just the first iteration, but like the first video where like you guys were in a choir or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, this is whack. And I go, poor guys, they're giggity straddled with something that's gonna bury them. But bro, I just thought it was genius the way you just flipped it and made it into your own thing, you know? And they went along with it because they were like, okay, this is working.
Yeah, it's like, you know, a lot of times what I've found is the most valuable asset you can have as a WWE superstar is the ability to adjust.
Right.
Because you have no idea what is going to be given to you. You have no idea when you're going to pop off. You have no idea if one word that you say in your promo is going to pop off, yeet, right? You know what I mean? Like, Jay had been saying yeet for years. You know what I mean? Backstage, and then all of a sudden he said it out there, and then all of a sudden everybody starts saying it with him, and he's onto something, you know? So it's being able to, like, have your finger on the pulse of what's hot is the key, and then having the courage to lean all the way in. Because a lot of people would have been mad with the gimmick that they were given. For us, we were like, okay, well, let's see what we can do with this. We're going to flip it, and we're going to make it special regardless of, like, what it is or what it's supposed to be. We're going to make it into something that people are going to like, and we're going to have fun with it. So committing the whole, your whole heart and your whole energy, you know, and all your efforts, like leaning all the way in 110% is the key. Because if you're out there and you don't believe in it even a little bit, people see through that, and you're out there and people don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't really get behind it because they know it's disingenuous or inauthentic.
Well, plus too, you know, you got this thing where, you know how it is in the locker when things are hot, right? You know, everybody's back in the locker room, the boys, and you know, we're listening to the crowd. You know, bro, it gives you confidence when you go out there every night and you know, your act is still one of the biggest pops every night.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, like, I wasn't a big fan of the gimmick, but I'm a guy that, like, they're doing something right because the people with them huge, like, to get one of the biggest pops each night. What's it like? Do guys bust each other's balls like the way we used to back in the day? If you're out there and like you didn't get over, Did the guys kind of bust each other's balls backstage?
Man, nah, man, stuff is way different now. Y'all were crazy. You hear about like y'all shitting in people's bags and stuff. I don't know, man. You guys used to do things a little bit different. You know, people will come back and tell us about all the stories of what you guys used to do. But you know, it's no, I don't think people like bust chops like that. I think we're in a situation, at least like my mentality has always been that like we're all in this same boat, man. And the more that my coworker can get over, the more I'm going to be able to get over. So I'm always trying to think of things I can do to like help people get to where they need to be. And it'll always come back around, you know, with Grayson Waller right now, you know what I'm saying? Like people are like, oh my God, this is such a random pairing, but he's really, really good and really talented, man. So to be able to put him into the mix with us, it brings a different dynamic for us, but then it also allows him to like show this audience what he can do. The NXT people already know. He used to have the Grayson Waller experience, and he was like just awesome in NXT. But you know, that's obviously like a smaller viewership. But now being able to see him on the main stage, like, you know, he's a star. So anything we can do to accentuate him, like in the long run, is going to help us, but it's going to help the industry, and it's also going to help with it's going to entertain the people. And at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to make sure that people leave with the best experience possible. So I think it's a little bit different, man. I don't know. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I was on like the tail end of a lot of people who were in your generation. I think there was a mentality of like almost like dog eat dog, man. Like I want to get over before anybody else, and like undercutting and stuff like that. I've never had that mentality, and I don't think you see a lot of that now.
It was dog eat dog, except with your friends, right?
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, like, bro, if you like you know, it's kind of weird how wrestling today, like, it's gotten a lot more athletic and risky, you know. But dude, back in like our day, if you had a botch in a match, like if you miss a spot, you were like, oh no, you can't. When you come back to the curtain, Kidman would be like the first guy there just cracking up and shooting up and it's funny because I know he's in the go position now, right? Like in the show thing, but bro, like it's funny, like, you know, back in the day we just used to bust each other's balls if you missed a spot, you know, and like the back in the day it was kind of like, it was weird. You could have the people, but you would just feel miserable if you like missed a spot in the match and everything. Go ahead.
No, there's still a little bit of that. There's still definitely a little bit of that too, because I think like we're all perfectionists, you know, and there's a lot of times where, I mean, people are so talented on the roster that if something goes wrong, a lot of people who are watching might not necessarily know, but it'll stick with us because we wanted to come out a certain way. We wanted to tell a story to perfection. And if one thing was off, we're like, man, we could have given them that much more.
Right.
So there, you know, there's a little bit of that. Like we'll bust each other's chops a little bit, you know, but I think it's all good natured, as opposed to, again, you know, shitting in people's bags. That's the
shitting in people's bags. Let me explain something.
That was like even before us, kind of.
That wasn't really
mid-90s.
That wasn't busting chops. That was if you didn't like somebody.
Yeah.
And you were kind of telling him you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of like the generation before us.
Yeah.
Right.
So Kofi, you've, like we said before, you've been around for a couple of generations, basically. You've seen him come and go. And you mentioned Grayson, but who are some of the guys you see today, either on the main roster in NXT, like that are really on the come up that you see a bright future for?
Yeah, the future is real bright, man. Carmelo Hayes, I think, is immensely talented. And when he gets his opportunity, he's going to just blow the roof off. Even the stuff he's doing with Miz right now, embracing that, he's killing it there. I think he's going to be great. Trick Williams, for sure. Gosh, I mean, there's so many. There's so many. Like, you look at the roster head to toe, and really, I mean, everybody is talented.
And not only that, bro. Like, just about everybody's a good worker now.
Yeah.
You know, where before you had guys that weren't that good. Let me ask you a question. So you came from Ghana, right?
Yeah.
I did extensive research on you, which means 15 minutes before that. I looked it up on Wiki.
Here we go, Wikipedia. Let's go.
Okay, so at what age?
I came at probably like a year and a half.
All right.
You know, I was real young. But and then actually, so I went back in like 1994. So I was in 7th grade, and it was great because I have such a huge family over there, and I got to go meet everybody. You know what I mean? Aunts, uncles, you know, just grandparents, you know what I mean? Just to be able to, I think it's really important to connect with our roots and know where we came from, you know? And then obviously I got to go back again in 2019 with the WWE Championship, which was amazing because, you know, I got to put things into perspective sometimes because I look at it as like, I was such like I feel like I'm like I said, I'm not like your prototypical wrestler.
Right.
I'm not, you know, I'm not 6'8". I'm not a heavyweight. I'm not like the most muscle bound guy. I have a weird chest. You know what I'm saying? I got skinny legs. My head is really
Yeah,
misshapen.
but you're entertaining,
red,
dude, and
you
that
know?
doesn't matter. All of that does not
Yeah,
matter if you're entertaining.
that's the thing, man.
That's why I used to hate when I used to hear, oh, in WWE, they want everybody to be over 6 feet tall. I go,
Yeah.
there's nobody talented under 6 feet tall?
Get in the game with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Bet on the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, soccer, golf, MMA, and more. Every sport, every market, right at your fingertips. Deposit instantly with PayPal, Venmo, or Apple Pay, starting at just $10. Win big and cash out fast. PayPal in 24 hours or instantly at retail sportsbooks. Available in over 20 states, FanDuel's app is your ticket to the action. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now.
Right. Yeah. You know, you got like a little bit of a chip on your shoulder and going out there and like breaking the mold. And I really enjoy that. You know, again, like going back to Ghana, there's a lot of
Did you receive like a hero's welcome? Is wrestling big in Ghana?
It was like Ali in
Wow.
Rumble in the Jungle when you see that.
Wow.
Man. I had like 10 security officers. They're all holding hands. I'm walking down the street and, you know, people are trying to just get a touch, you know, oh, and my mom is there, you know, I'm in her hometown.
Amazing.
And we couldn't go anywhere. People were so excited. They just wanted to like touch me. And I think that's like, it's just so humbling to be at the center of that, you know, to be able to motivate people because I was just like these kids. I was here in Ghana at one point and, you know, you know, my parents, because of the American dream, came all the way to America and I fell in love with wrestling and somehow, some way, through a lot of luck and hard work, you know, right place, right time, I was able to attain the highest level, you know, the pinnacle of the industry. And it's just, again, to me, a testament to like believing in yourself. Because like I said,
You know what's amazing to me? Because I don't think this has changed. You were the first Black world heavyweight champion, correct?
Well, technically African born.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to, you know, acknowledge The Rock is Black for some reason. I don't know. He Black to me, you know,
Right.
Johnson is your dad.
Right.
That means that he's Black. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So technically he was the first, but as far as like, you know, being the first African born champion, that's me, you know, and that's, again, wild to say because I was just a kid who liked wrestling, you know. I was a kid that this is a childhood dream and I wanted to just be out in the ring and have matches. And because I had that dream, because I believed in myself, I was able to do so much more and motivate so many people. Taking the title back to Ghana with the side plates with my name on it, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
KOFI is a very popular name in Ghana. It's the name given to a boy born on Friday. Traditionally, every day of the week has a different name associated with it. So KOFI is obviously very popular. It's like Mike or Joe or John or whatever. So for them to see one of the most popular names in Ghanaian history on the most prestigious title in wrestling history,
That
must
was
be like,
born there.
like mind-blowing, you know what I'm saying?
That's
So
great.
again, I'm just really humbled to be the guy who is able to motivate people in that way. And then even beyond that, just the fact, like, you know, it took me 11 years to even get a chance to wrestle for the title. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's like over a decade. And just, again, just like right place, right time, the people coming to support, I was able to do that. And because I was prepared for the opportunity, we did something that was historic. And now there's like a lot of people that still talk about how much emotion that moment brings. So
I'm very curious
when-
about this. Let me real quick.
Okay.
Give me 2 cultural differences between Ghana and the United States.
2 cultural differences. I think people appreciate what they have more in Ghana because people don't necessarily have a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
the little they
Easy.
have, they appreciate it.
yeah. One of the main like eye-opening moments to me when I went back there in 7th grade was I remember being mad that I wouldn't get like the right wrestling toys on Christmas. I'd be so mad about this, you know?
Right.
I go to Ghana and I'll see people who didn't have any kind of toys. One of the main toys they would have was a bicycle wheel without the tire on it, just a bike wheel with the spokes and a stick. and dirt roads, and they were just wheeling the stick around. Happy, man. Happy, you know? And I'm just like, golly, like,
Yeah,
I'm
no way I
complaining
would have been
about
happy
these
with that
luxuries, you
fucking,
know?
yeah.
You know? So just being appreciative will probably be the main thing, you know? Just in general, just being appreciative. And everyone, you know, people talk about Ghana being the most welcoming country to visit in Africa. And we just love to welcome people and host people and show love, you know? So I was raised with all of that, you know, with my
Bro,
parents, they taught all
let
that
me
too.
let me
I
ask you
was a
this.
big fan. Real quick, we could just go real quick. I was a big fan. I'm sure you've heard of him. I don't know if you ever saw him, but I'm a big boxing fan, right? Bro, you had this champion called the Zuma Nelson. Did you ever
Okay.
see him?
No.
Okay, watch a Zuma Nelson. Okay, look this up against, to me, the greatest Mexican boxer ever, Salvador Sanchez.
Okay.
Incredible fight. He was
Good match.
incredible.
He's
Yeah,
Ghanaian.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah.
funny. I got a coworker of mine's from Ghana, and he's one of our managers, and he's like a descendant of a prince there, so he's kind of like royal family
Okay.
sort of. Dude,
Yeah.
what do you think about? And he's a huge wrestling fan. Like grew
Okay.
up watching. Like so, everybody. Bro, what do you think about that? I watch these videos on X. These the soft ground wrestling.
Yeah.
Dude,
I've seen those.
do you watch that stuff? Dude, I'm shocked at how like these kids look like they can work.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
selling's good. But what do you think about that? Because
They're coming along. I love it, man. It's just, again, just the passion that, you know, when you think about like wrestling, right? Like we're kind of like, you know, we're out here in these outfits, you know, simulating combat and all that. And we just have such an impact on the world. We tell these stories and we make people react emotionally. And when I see things like soft ground wrestling, I'm just like, wow, like the reach is crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And like you're saying, people are like passionately into the matches, men and women, right?
Right.
Like, and anybody who was taking a bump, bro, I was just at a wedding yesterday and somebody was dancing and they do like a front flip bump on the floor. So I'm cringing because I know how that feels, you know? Like I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Your whole back, you're all the discs in your back, the vertebrae, like the life you're taking off of that is crazy to me because we felt that. We know what that feels like. So when I see them in soft ground wrestling doing all those moves on that soft, it doesn't look soft to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's right.
It don't look that
Exactly.
soft to me. It's wild that they would have that kind of passion to put their bodies through that just to entertain people and live out their dreams. I love it, man. I really do.
Were you a Monday Night Wars kid, Kofi?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Who were your guys when you were
My guys, I was all WWE, man, or WWF at the time, man. I grew up in the, you know, Northeast. So, geez, you know, I was always a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat guy. I know that was a little bit past the, you know, before the era or whatever, but you know, you had to like choose a side, right? Like, oh, WCW or WWE, and I was always WWE. They didn't really play a whole lot of WCW up north. But then when I started seeing like NWO, you know, started seeing the cruiserweights, Dean Malenko, Ray, Juventud Guerrero, Konnan, you know what I mean? Like Disco, you know what I'm saying? Like that. I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe this like tribalism thing, I shouldn't be picking sides. I should be just enjoying the wrestling that I'm seeing. And I think it was really a special era that we got to see the wars and, you know,
Definitely.
so yeah, I enjoyed the just the rivalry, you know.
Yeah,
it was
a very special era, bro. We were very lucky to have lived it and seen it. So you're from Boston, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a huge Boston Celtic, huge Bruins and Red Sox fan.
You
Okay.
a Patriots guy?
Okay, so let me tell you that story.
Mhm.
So what had happened is I was originally born, my mom and dad, my dad's Puerto Rican, my mom's Cuban. They met in a place called, which I'm sure you know where it is, called Cambridge.
Of course.
All right. And that's where I was born. But then when I was like 2 years old, we moved to Miami. But Miami had no sports team. So I just navigated towards, you know, all the Boston teams, right?
Yeah.
Then early on, you probably don't remember this, but when the New England Patriots, Steve Grogan was the quarterback, Sam Bam Cunningham was the running back. So I was a big fan of that era, right? And I used to go to the Orange Bowl, which is where the Dolphins played, just to meet the football players. So I knew all the New England Patriots and all that. But then what happened is growing up in Miami, you become a Miami Dolphin fan, right? And then I moved to San Diego and I became a Chargers fan, even though they moved, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of ungravitated from the Patriots, but I always stayed with the Red Sox. Now finally we got a quarterback, right? You got May, but Red Sox, Celtic, I mean, huge fan since like I was 6 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, Kofi. Does WWE, did you guys play fantasy football?
Bro, I'm in 5 leagues right now. In 5 leagues.
Let me tell you something.
How do you have time for that?
We have a Wikipedia credit, right?
Yeah.
We're credit Wikipedia. I'm in the oldest recorded fantasy football league in the United States.
Really?
I've been doing it since 1982. In 10th grade within my high school, there was an article in the back of a Sports Illustrated that was talking about these guys that were playing like fantasy football and they had the scoring system. Remember the Sports Illustrated, the very last page, there used to be just like some corner.
What they call
there was an article, right? And it had an art talk about this league. These guys were playing fantasy football. This is a scoring system stuff. We started playing it, 7 of us, right? So now it's like 12. Dude, we've been doing like for like 40 something years now.
That's wild, man.
And there's nothing more miserable than the day after your team is sucked in fantasy football.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's such a gift and a curse because you wait for it all year and then you have your drafts and you think your team is great and then all of a sudden, the season starts. And then so what kills me is like being in 5 different leagues. Like one day I have, say I have like Marvin Harrison Jr., you know what I'm saying?
I got him.
And Kyler Murray on one team, but then I'm playing him in another so I can't enjoy the game because I'm like, oh, I want him to do well, but maybe he can throw an interception. And you start trying to analyze it. It's like, bro, what are we doing, man? But it's so satisfying, man. I'm in a league with my college buddies, and we've been in since 2004. So same day. I'm not nearly quite as long as you, but
the funny thing about it is people say I'm a big ball buster, right? Our message board in our fantasy football league is like we could write. I'd publish as a book. These are the best promos ever.
Oh yeah!
Like fantasy football trash talk within the league is some of the most entertaining stuff to partake in, right?
Yeah, man. There was one year where I actually won the league with my boys and my friends at home. So I wrote this whole huge promo on the message board. I'm just talking all this trash, bashing everybody. And then next day, because Vince Wilfork blocked a field goal, there was a stat correction. I ended up losing, and I haven't sniffed the championship ever since, bro. We call it the Christmas Day Massacre, and we still talk about it to this day. It was like 10 years ago, man. I haven't sniffed the championship since in that league.
How many of the guys
from the University of Miami? Boom.
How many guys in WWE play?
Oh man,
I mean,
it's a handful of us now.
I turned Miz onto footballguys.com years ago. That's my go-to site. Footballguys.com. I've been using it for years, but I turned Miz onto that when we talked like years ago. Who else plays?
Miz used to play, so we used to have a league that was a WWE magazine back when print media was a thing, right?
Right.
It was me, Miz, the Bella Twins, who else? Kurt Hennig. I think I'm like the last founding member that's like still in there, you know? So yeah, it's a handful of us now. I mean, and then we go like across promotions too. There's one where a bunch of
So the Bella Twins knew football?
Bro, the Bellas, they know their football, man. They're
There's nothing cooler than a girl that knows football.
Oh, yeah.
My mom. We talk a lot of trash, man.
My mom lives for fantasy football on Sunday. Like, she's my part of my league. She was our commissioner of our league for years. But yeah, it's
let me mention this to Kofi real quick. And you guys since we're talking football and sports and whatnot, and I know you like reaction videos, Konnan. The greatest sports reaction video I've ever seen was Kofi and Xavier. I think it was Super Bowl 51, Kofi.
Yes.
Oh, what was it?
Super Bowl in the history. Patriots down 28-3. Everybody in their calling me, sending me texts, talking all this trash because they want to see the downfall of Tom Brady and they want to see the downfall of greatness. They don't appreciate greatness. I try to tell people, if you don't appreciate greatness yourself, you can never be great. You can't be great. You attract what you put out. So if you're out there hating on people, then your team is going to be the recipient. The recipient.
Negative energy.
The negative energy, bro.
This
He
reaction
came back.
video.
Xavier-
When
is Xavier
Julian
a
Edelman
fa-
made that catch and we came back, come on, man. The
Is
greatest
Xavier-
Super Bowl of all time.
Is
Yeah.
Xavier a Falcons fan too?
He's a Falcons fan.
Dude,
Yeah,
this
me
is
too.
hard-
We grew up in-
this is
we-
heartbreak, this go. You can
We
watch
grew,
this
we grew
heartbreak.
up in. He grew up right around the corner from me. Well, we grew up in
Yeah.
Marietta. Like, I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
when I go back home, I went to the gym, and this kid, muscular guy, walks up to me and says, "Hey, I'm Xavier Woods' brother." I'm like, "Oh, yeah." So like, yeah. It's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I always said, like, one day, like when we get older, we should have like we're all like retired or anything. Like me and Cody and Xavier should have like like a King of Cobb County match or something.
Doesn't,
Like,
Ernest the Cat Miller lives down there too. Don't he?
right? Yeah, the cat there too, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, man.
Let
that's
me
cool,
tell
guys.
you, Kofi, the best Super Bowl ever was when the Atlanta Falcons choked.
That's he's just talking about
Oh,
that.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
yeah.
that's-
I will
that was
forever
not-
be happy.
bro. Yeah, man.
it's
I
funny
just-
too.
man,
It's
it
because
was
I bet on the Falcons, Di.
Right. Well, Coffee too is like I was always huge on when we travel on Sunday. I get to go to the sports bar and watch all the games. But now you guys travel, dude. You got the Red Zone channel on your phone.
I know.
Like
You can't-
how easy. That's
It's
not like a
amazing.
godsend. One is
I don't know.
like,
I don't know how y'all did it, man. I don't know how
Yeah,
y'all.
like-
Bro,
did it.
this is how we
Even
had to do
FaceTime,
it.
Being able to
This
talk
is
to our
like-
families and stuff. Man. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta be-
Kofi. This is exactly how we had to do it. We had to literally wait till the game came on and they'd put it on catering, and you'd watch it before and after
Man.
your match, right?
Yeah.
Just go.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It was a
ask
long
you.
way.
We got about
Yeah, go ahead.
5. We got about 5. Okay, come on. 5 minutes.
Got about 5 for what?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah. So I got a couple out the box questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay. First one, right? Let's say you go into the gas station and you have the munchies. All right.
Yeah.
Which one are you copying? Pop-Tart, cup of soup, chorizo, burrito, hot dog, or a hot pocket?
What was
Oh,
the
well, you're
first? What was-
vegan, so
Yeah,
almonds or some shit.
all those. I mean, maybe I guess the soup. Yeah. Tuna. That's me, dog.
Really? Oh,
Nothing,
yeah.
nothing with the. Can't eat anything with the mother. Anything with the face.
Wow.
Yo. Yeah.
So what would you get?
Damn tuna?
Sunflower seeds or some shit?
I usually get trail mix.
Right.
Sometimes I get like a Lenny's and Larry's cookie, but I don't really do those anymore because there's too much junk in there. It's almost like a candy bar.
Right. It's too
I
much
mean, I
sugar.
usually end up stopping at a grocery store to get my food, and then I'll bring that and carry it throughout the weekend.
He
You say with the cookies?
took like 2 bites.
He said he took 2 bites of a cookie. You took 2
Right.
bites of a Lenny and Larry cookie too.
He
Kids
didn't
are
like
on the
them.
vegan train too. Kids are on the vegan train too.
Okay.
You know?
I'm not a video game guy, but I know you guys have been famous for having like a video channel, up, down, or whatever it's called. Is that
Up, down, down, up, down, down. Yes,
You
sir.
got it.
okay? Is that still a thing?
Of course. Yeah, man. Yeah. Still going strong.
So basically, what is it? You challenge other wrestlers on there, or what do you do there?
It's a whole plethora of gaming situations. Sometimes Woodsy, and he's the main host of everything, but we'll have like a gamer, like kind of get to know you session where he'll interview you. We'll
Right.
just be playing a game because a lot of people want to see what people are like outside the ring, you know?
Right.
But then we also have gaming tournaments, you know, depending on the game. We've had a Madden tournament in the past, Tekken tournaments, you know, fighting game tournaments.
Who's the present Madden champion?
Ah, man.
Is it AJ?
No.
Huh.
AJ he's not a Madden player.
Booker,
Oh, okay, I thought he
Booker
was-
and
Honestly,
AJ.
probably Braun Breaker's actually pretty good right now. But
Yeah.
it's because he's been playing. I took a 6-year hiatus off of Madden, and only because he was talking trash did I get back into it, you know.
Yeah.
But he knows the game better than anybody else.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, we were at the genesis of the video game stuff in the locker room when NWA TNA back in the day when Booker and AJ, which is really
Yeah.
cool on Madden. Do they still?
Yeah.
Do they still? Are they still too big?
AJ is
Start
still
traveling with the
So we just came back
PlayStation
from
and all that?
Japan. AJ always makes sure to go to like Super Potato in Japan, big video game spot, and he buys all this different like just retro stuff
Japan only.
in Japan. But I mean, no, he's still an avid video game player for sure.
Okay,
He's not
so
very good at Tekken, but you know, he's
so
still
I'm,
plays.
like I said, I'm not a video game guy, but a lot of people I listen to this are. Give me your favorite video games.
Right now, Tekken. Tekken 8. Yeah, honestly, that's really all I play. I'll play Retro Bowl on my phone. I'm about 157 seasons deep right now. So multiply that by 17 games or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm in. And it's a real just like basic game. It's kind of like Tecmo Bowl, but you keep on going. Coach Seymour Butts, Coach Seymour Butts is about 150 years old right now, but he's still winning. You know what I'm saying? Between that and I just got back into Madden too. I'm not very good yet, but I'm gonna get there.
Okay, so give me your diva crush as a kid and your 3 all-time favorite divas.
Oh boy, all-time favorite got to be Lita,
right?
Trish Stratus,
right?
Man, all-time favorite. Ah, man, I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Here's one. Here's one where you get a chance to bury somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how like you always get in a car and you usually drive with the same people, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll drive with somebody because maybe your guy, the person you were driving with wasn't on that loop.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy that's driving, we always refer to him as a pilot, right?
Sure.
Worst pilot to be with because he gets lost, he's late, you know.
Or bad music.
Oh, I don't even have to hear the rest of the list. I'll say Hornswoggle. Because the man, he can't even drive, you know?
Right.
Sometimes you'll be so tired on these like 6-hour drives and then Swoggle, you know, try to get in the front seat. And at home, he has like pedal extenders where he can like, you know, sit up the right way and like drive. But if not, then he's got to pull the seat all the way up to his chest and lean down. And bro, it's the scare. It's your life on the line, man. And I'm trying to rest and I can't because you know what I'm saying?
Here's the other one.
Yeah. Gotta be swapped.
Who's the worst co-pilot because you're driving and his job is to keep you awake and he falls asleep?
And that's got to be Hornswoggle again. That's Hornswoggle again. He'll fall asleep, you know, in the front seat. He's good for a good, you know, hour and a half or whatever.
Then after that, you're on your own.
Out in the front. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Best concert you ever been to?
Best concert I've ever been to's got to be Outkast. My son said Connor Price instead of for the kids. He's actually pretty good. You know.
What music is that?
It's hip hop. He's a Canadian dude,
right?
But he enjoyed the concert a lot more than I did. You know, I went to Outkast in college. That was probably actually the first. I went to a Busta Rhymes one too, but when Outkast came to Boston College. That was probably like 1999 or something.
Oh, that was
real nice.
2000, maybe like 2002 or something.
That's when they were just super hot.
Yeah, man. I love their stuff. And again, coming from the north, I didn't hear the music down south until I heard the Outkast, so it was great.
How about a worst concert?
Worst concert? I don't know. I never. My other son said Connor Price, trying to get under each other's skin. Nah, man.
Bro, I remember. Listen to this. So when Dominic was young, he had to chaperone his sister because she was she was younger to Justin Bieber concerts, bro, and he hated it. Yeah, I would bust his balls about that.
Oh, I bet.
Well, cool, man. Well, Kofi, man, it's good having you. I mean, our first of it.
Give me your worst concert.
Worst? I've never been to a bad concert, to be honest, man. My wife likes a group called Rising Appalachia,
right?
Which is, you know, like I don't know, like rock, soul, but I like them, man. It's a good vibe. That we actually went to a concert here in Asheville. Everybody was super cool.
You live in Asheville, North Carolina?
Asheville, North Carolina, yeah.
Is that where Edge and those people live?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on over there?
Everything, man. It's a beautiful place, beautiful people. And at that concert, man, it was just like real laid back. So actually, we had a show in Raleigh the next day, and I made a post talking about like the duality of life, how I'm here with all these peaceful people, and I have to go to Raleigh to these terrible people who are going to say nasty things about me, like what a FML, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on,
that's
man.
Great.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, Rising Appalachia is pretty good, man. I like them.
Okay, so where can people find you? Where can people chop it up with you?
Yeah, man, I'm on social media, just at True Kofi, TrueKofi, on Instagram and Twitter. What was the other one too that came out a while ago? I'm not on it anymore, but they told me I had to be on it. I don't know. But at True Kofi, a lot of people want to talk trash. I usually talk trash back. The people, you know, they say, okay, well, you're a WWE superstar. We should be able to say whatever we want. And that's fine. Say whatever you want to me.
Right.
But I might say whatever I want back.
Right.
It's got to go. It's a two-way street around here.
There is.
You know? Yeah. It's a two-way street.
Kofi,
Right.
man, it was good meeting you. And also, if you have Marvin Harrison Jr. one for fantasy football leagues, let's pray he does something this week against the Cowboys.
Man.
He's been such a disappointment, man.
Kyler should be back and out of that foot injury. So
Yeah,
hopefully we can get him some TDs, man.
yeah,
We'll
man,
see.
awesome, man. It was great chopping it up with you, man. It's good
Yes.
meeting you.
Yeah, likewise, man. Likewise.
Cool,
really
man.
nice to
Awesome.
meet you too, man. It's an honor and a pleasure. And I was telling my kids too, like, 10-year-old me would never imagine that like 30 years later, I'd be on the podcast talking to guys who I used to watch growing up, man. So I appreciate what you guys did back in the day. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have had interest in wrestling and all that. So I appreciate the entertainment that you guys put out too. You know what I mean? So
that's the beauty of wrestling, bro. Man. That's the beauty of wrestling. Stuff like this, bro. We're big fans. We wish you nothing but continued success.
And we love to have you back too.
And I want to thank you very much. Down. Yeah, I want to thank you very much, Kofi, for being on Keeping It 100. Boom.
Hey, baby.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No, thanks very much.
Appreciate it, man.
So awesome,
my friend.
Cool, nice meeting you.
All right, Josh.
All right,
yeah,
peace.
And Nick, thanks for facilitating it, man.
No, of course. Thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate it.
Right. All right. Peace.
Thank you, Nick.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. You have a good one.
All right, you too. Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.